Hello and welcome to another Betfred sports video right here in the Quest Media Network studio. Now, excitement's building ahead of this weekend because the Football League returns. Not just that, we've got the Community Shield and, of course, the Women's Euros final between England and Germany. So, Peter, first of all, we'll start with the Community Shield. It's City taking on Liverpool at the King Power Stadium. What are the odds looking like for this one?
Well, City go into this game at Leicester, 13-10 favourites. Liverpool 9-5. All eyes, of course, will be on how Erling Haaland goes on. City's fantastic signing from the Norwegian international. He's 10-3 to score the first goal with Betfred. Most salary 9-2. A lot of people are going for the draw on 90 minutes, and this game does actually go straight to penalties. Right. So it's 12-5 for the draw on 90 minutes. But I do note that Klopp has started moaning already about not fixture congestion, but he thinks the game's come too early for him. They've only had 63 days rest, so you wouldn't mind that for your holidays, would you? No. And they do manage to get in a game, all those games in America. So, you know, there's no sympathy for it as far as I'm concerned. It's time for the action. It's been on the calendar for a long time now. And of course the season is starting early because of the World Cup. So they can't have it everywhere. And it's not like the rapport team and when we're struggling for numbers, they just play some kids in if you want, so some of his reserves. Yeah. It's a squad game. And City's recruitment is far superior than Liverpool's. And that's why City go into this game as the favourites.
In a way, it is a glorified pre-season friendly, but you know, just a week away from the Premier League, the opening fixtures, you want to get the victory, won't you, for that momentum?
Don't say that to Mourinho. He counts this as the first trophy of the season. He always used to count it on his list of trophies. But it is a marker. It sorts out the stall for the rest of the season. We at Betfred have got City as bang on favourites there.
Well, there you go then. That game is taking place at Leicester's King Power Stadium on Saturday, and then 24 hours later, it's the big one at Wembley. There's going to be a massive crowd for this one. It's England taking on Germany in the Women's Euros finals. Peter, this one's got all the ingredients to be a cracker. I know there's a lot of rivalry between England and Germany when it comes to the men, but you know, this one's going to have the same as well.
Well, it certainly is. You couldn't make it up, could you, that England should play Germany in the Women's Euros. We go into it with at Betfred, England 8-11, so odds on favourites there. Germany evens. Then we've got the nightmare scenario of Germany win on penalties, which is 9-1. That'll mean all evens at 90 minutes. That's 11-5 at Betfred. Beth Mead, she's on 6 goals, the same as Alexandra Popp, who plays for Germany. She's on 6 goals as well. Mead is 11-2 to score the first goal, and Ellen White, who plays up front but hasn't scored quite as many as usual, she's 4-1 to score the first goal. Rosso, who's emerging as a super sub, the United player, she's 5-1 to score the first goal. So a lot of people are on that because they think it's going to be tight at the beginning and that she'll come on and break the deadlock. England to win on penalties, that's 9-1 at Betfred as well.
Excellent stuff. Well, the best of luck to the Lionesses in their final against Germany. Well, tomorrow also marks the start of the Football League season. From a local perspective, we've got Stockport and Rochdale. Stockport host Barrow after returning to the Football League. Peter, Stockport currently 6-1 favourites with Betfred to claim another promotion, win the title, and under Dave Challoner, they've got a great chance.
Well, we think so as well. That's why they've been installed as 6-1 favourites. A lot of money on Stockport. Not just to go up, which is 6-1 as you say, but for a top 3 finish, 15-8. By contrast, Rochdale, who have been well established in the Football League, they're 40-1 to be promoted and 16-1 for a top 3 finish. But Stockport have got all the makings of a promotion charge. They've got a fantastic crowd, over 10,000. They've got the academies now. Category 3, same as Rochdale as it happens, and they've been doing some shrewd recruitments. They've got Cam Camps, who was at Fleetwood from Rochdale, for instance, in midfield, and they have recruited well and justifiably they're 6-1 favourites. And out of all the divisions out of the Premier League, Stockport are one of the most heavily backed teams at Betfred.
Yeah, they certainly are, and it's no secret that the owner wants them back in the Championship where they were in 2001, playing the likes of Manchester City and beating them. So, do you think it's a realistic prospect that? Could it happen in the next few years?
I think I heard the same sort of story with Salford and the Nevilles and their financial support, and that hasn't really come to fruition as yet. So I think that Stockport have got to realise it's not necessarily promotion every year. It's a case of getting yourself established and then promoted, etc. I think they'll get out of this division, but when it gets from Division 1 into the Championship, it might get a bit tougher. And certainly if they got in the Championship, it'll be a lot tougher.
Yeah.
And it causes huge uplift in the club, because a manager who can do it at League 1 or League 2 status can't necessarily do it in the Championship.
Yeah.
Certainly not in the Premier League. But anyway, that's getting too far ahead. So I think it's a case of maybe in sort of 6 or 7 years they could be knocking on the door of the Premier League. But I think it's a case of getting yourself established in this league. I mean, Barrow are no mugs.
No.
They've invested heavily as well, by their standards. And their players know exactly what's required. It's a lot different when it's totally full-time football. That's what it's been for some time, to be fair.
Yeah.
But full-time football in the Football League is a lot different. And they're going to get potentially a bit of a rude awakening at the beginning. They'll probably go and recruit again if they find it's not working out. And they have got the money to do that.
Well, yeah, they're certainly on a mission, but just taking a look at Barrow, their new manager's Pete Wild, of course, former Oldham boss, then went to Halifax Town, went in the playoffs last season, just missed out, but, you know, he's no mug, he knows what he's doing, so like you say, the opening day clash could be a toughie. Yeah,
and similar, at Rochdale, they're playing against Crewe in their opening game as well. There's a lot of interest in that division, and if you add together the crowd of our local teams in Greater Manchester, Rochdale, Stockport, Wigan, Bolton, it's getting close to what United, well not United, but City get on a regular basis, certainly the away travel.
Yeah.
Because there's phenomenal interest in the Football League.
Yep, there certainly is. So the best of luck to our local sides in their opening fixtures tomorrow afternoon. Well, we're going to move into some Betfred Super League news now, and there's only one name on everyone's lips, and that is Matt Duffy, because he's joined the Warrington Wolves from the Canterbury Bulldogs. He's a 26-year-old. He's highly rated. Peter, Warrington go into tomorrow's clash against Huddersfield with high hopes now, and they've been boosted by this signing.
Well, you say high hopes. We've been saying that all season for Warrington. They have been struggling. I mean, the third from bottom is unprecedented at a team of their status, and they're seen as the Manchester United of Betfred Super League with the money and the crowd support they've got. But the third from bottom just takes some believing. Well, they've shelled out and they've brought in, as you say, Matt Duffy from Australia. He's got a fantastic pedigree, 45 tries in 96 NRL appearances, and he's 14-1 with Betfred to score in his debut, which is highly likely, whether it's the first one or not, but it's 14-1 to score the first try at Huddersfield in that game on Saturday.
Brilliant stuff. Well, in recent weeks they've covered Salford's rise. They've been in great form, but they've got a huge, difficult challenge. They take on league leaders St Helens at home. That's at the AJ Bell Stadium. Peter, this one could really test them.
Yeah, I think Salford would probably accept that they're not favourites going into this game. Wigan won last night, so that's pegged St Helens back to 4 points lead, and they're evens to win the Super League Grand Final at Old Trafford in September. So St Helens go into it on the back of a closely fought victory last weekend, and so I think it's going to be tighter than people imagine, but you never really write off or ever write off St Helens. And Salford have got themselves into the top 6, probably will stay there at the end of the season, but not with the 2 points on Sunday, because I do think that'll be a St Helens victory. Salford have gone from 150-1 to 50-1 to win the grand final, so you can see that Betfred do think that Salford are on the up, but it could come unstuck on Sunday, as you say.
Well, I know that it's Fred Dunn's hometown, so he'll be rooting for them, won't he?
Yeah, he most certainly will. He is a big supporter of Salford.
Brilliant stuff. Well, we're going to move into some political news now. In recent weeks, we've been talking about the challenge between Liz Truss and Rishi Sunak for the next Conservative leader. That's really hotting up. But looking at Liz Truss, Peter, she's now 1 to 10 to become the next leader. She's a clear favourite. Do you think she's going to do it?
I did indicate when there was 9 candidates right at the beginning that Liz Truss was the one to watch. Although she wasn't leading the betting at the beginning, she was always there or thereabouts, and she was got a third or fourth favourites then. But once the right wing of the party rallied against Rishi Sunak, she was the only real candidate for that section of the party. So as you say, she's now 1 to 10 with Betfred, so it's more or less going to be over this soon, as far as we're concerned. The betting slips, the polling slips go out on Monday to the 160,000 Conservative supporters, members, and the result will come in on September the 5th. But as you say, Liz Truss is looking way out in front now. Every single debate and hustings, she comes out with more credit and endorsements from people. I mean, Ben Wallace, only this morning, he's come out in support of her. Right. He's saying that he thinks that she's got the defence of the country in her heart, and he's compared her position on that front with Sunak, who of course is supportive of defence of the country, but not as supportive as he sees it with as Liz Truss. So he's come out, and that is a fantastic endorsement, because as you know, Ben Wallace was the favourite right at the beginning before they announced the 9 candidates. We all thought Ben Wallace would run because he's got a great reputation in the party for being sound and sensible sort of guy. Anyway, he's quite supportive of Liz Truss. That's boosted her yet further. Anyway, she's 1 to 10 to be the Conservative leader and therefore the Prime Minister. And Rishi Sunak, well, we make him 11 to 2, so he's on the slide now.
Brilliant stuff. Well, it's certainly hotting up politically. Who will be the next Conservative leader? Will it be Liz Truss at 1 to 10, or will it be Rishi Sunak? We will find out in the next few weeks. Well, just to recap, we've got a load of football action coming up over the weekend. So tomorrow afternoon, we've got Manchester City taking on Liverpool in the Community Shield. That's taking place at Leicester's King Power Stadium. And then on Sunday, it is the big one. It's the Euro Women's Final. England taking on Germany. And of course, tomorrow afternoon marks the opening day of Football League fixtures. We've got Stockport hosting Barrow and Rochdale taking on Crewe. And if you do fancy a punt on any of those fixtures, Betfred stores are now open, but you can also bet online via their app.